Welcome to the First Call Plus with a couple of races from Hastings to kick us away. The first is race number 5, the New Zealand Contractors Federation Hawke's Bay over 1400, $3.90 Lucy in Rio, but a little shorter is Onunua in very good form, Aidan, at $3.70.
Yep, we'll make this brief because I know you've got a busy plane trip ahead of you, Matt. Lucy and Rio at $3.90 and Onunua both have very good form coming into this, and I thought with the two that probably deserve to be, I think there was a way of making money on them both. There's a few here that are going to be a little bit wanting for a run. Luna Rossa or Ophelia Lee probably both fit into that category. So yeah, I'm pretty keen about those two.
Yeah, I like Lucy and Rio. I think really good here in the spring when she took on serious horses. I can see the case for Onunua, loves the distance. Excellent last time out in a decent field, but I just like Lucy and Rio around Hastings and had that fresh up, well not run 2 starts ago, was fresh up, but then last time out second, so it just sits here for me in the right race on the right track, and yeah, it's a good each way chance, but Onunua, excellent last time.
She keeps on winning. That was good in Fillies and Mares Company 85, but Lucy and Rio had trolled up really well leading into that second placing last time out. She was good enough to be taken to Flemington, running around during Melbourne Cup Week last spring, so she's high class. Beats home leads in this trial and does it pointlessly.
Yeah. What do you make of Leeds at $18?
Well, put it this way, on this video, you'd be hard-pressed to back it.
Well, and 7 starts fresh yet to place.
I think we should get closer to them at the trials there, just like maybe put like a GoPro on one of the jockeys. That's the closest trial angle you'll see in the whole world.
Here's Lucy and Rio finishing into second at Rotorua on the 2nd of April. Cops a bit of a bump turning in and just gets knocked off his feet a little bit, Aidan.
Yep, runs down Temple Tiger, who's a rival in this race. It was a nice enough performance, and you'd think there's improvement in it. You'd be hard-pressed to think that Temple Tiger could turn the table.
Okay, bets here. What would you suggest we do, Michael?
Lucy and Rio each way for me. I can't see missing a place.
I'm going to back them both. Lucy and Rio and Onunua, they're part of my bank bets.
Congratulations, Miss Wilson, is race number 8 on the card. Of course, she was victorious last weekend in very good fashion in the Mares race. This over 1300. And this could be one of the races of the day, race 8. Keely B, $8.50 with Sam Spratt very much in form. I don't know where to look here, Michael, but you're keen on one.
Be careful here, punters. The chicane could come out of this race as entered at Te Rapa as well, so that would reduce the market.
Highly likely.
About 15 to 14% or something like that. I like Glory Days. I think Glory Days is a good horse. I think it's a future open class horse. It's fresh up here, so I'm not entirely sure that this distance is ideal, but it's a good horse, and I just think if there's any tempo here, and I haven't done a speed map for it, if there's tempo it could get over the top of it.
Yeah, I have put a speed map together here. I've got a couple of runners sort of got in there anyhow. We'll just work ahead. Keely B likely to press forward, Don't Poke the Tiger. Redefined looks to be beautifully placed from barrier 2, and you've got Glory Days and Vanilla Moon getting back.
Okay, well, we're going to take a look at Aileen Grace here, who will jump out of barrier number 1. This is Aileen Grace sitting second to last on the turn, shoots home to run into 4th position, and look, 3 runs back in this time, Maiden, have been faultless, and 550 with Lisa Allpress on it at barrier 1 must give you some confidence.
Yeah, this is really eye-catching this day. That was 4th at Ellerslie on Derby Day. Hits the line really strongly in between runners, and I think a horse with a lot of upside has won. 2 of 8, and yeah, I think there's a fair bit of improvement. It has to be one of the main chances in the race without doubt, and Ross McCarroll, you just got to you put trust in him every time he produces a horse race day.
His strike rate is very good, isn't it, Ross McCarroll?
Really good.
But it's sort of sad when you see Ellerslie there, isn't it? You sort of think, okay, we're not going to go there for 7 or 8 months unless you're bored, you just happen to go there for no reason. But it's
a jog.
But I mean, it is a bit sad, isn't it, having the main track in the country closed for so long, but hopefully it comes back bigger.
Winter is coming, though.
Bigger and better.
The other horse to mention that race is Redefined, who fought really gallantly for 3rd resuming. It looks to a horse who, especially from barrier 2, will get a suck run in the race, and that's the other danger.
It's indicative of a lot of the support races at both the meetings this weekend, Te Rapa and Hastings. There's going to be a lot of $5 and $6 favourites. It's one of those meetings where, I know Kiwi punters don't like to do this, guys, but you can back 2 or 3 horses in a race and make yourself a book. And I think as we're getting better educated as punters, that's coming more a part of the conversation for people over here. Going, oh, okay, I can see that makes sense. But there's a lot of those support races at both those venues, and we'll look at a couple at Te Rapa now, which I very much like that.
And we're going to kick off with race number 3, the Red Cabs Hamilton over 2,100 metres. 390 for Love Light, 440 Viyama, 550 there for Form. What did you make of Love Light the other day, Aidan, at $3.90?
Well, in retrospect, Te Aroha was very hard to make up ground, and so the further we got into that meeting, the more forgiving we had to become of Love Light, who was hitting the line okay. He's beaten a couple of lengths, but came from last on a day where you just really couldn't come from that far back. Prior to that, had won a couple of races leading into Cup Week, had run third at Matamata in the lead-up run. She's high class. I think she's a very big chance in this race.
Unbeaten here. Vinnie Colgan's in outstanding form at the moment, loves this distance, stables in form. Picks itself, but I do like one here. I've been waiting and waiting for Fawn to get to 2,100 metres. The little sister to Precedence, of course, who raced in so many Melbourne Cups. This is a genuinely smart staying horse. And good last time over 1,600 metres. We know Roger James can train a stayer. I can just see this being a horse who ends up in a cup next season. I really like Fawn as a horse. I'm not saying it'll beat Love Light because it's still quite new, but I do think that at 550 you can make a case to at least back that as your second chance, but more importantly follow this horse going forward. It was very impressive last time, and that breeding suggests the 2,100 metres is probably where it's going to end up.
That's interesting. There's another couple of horses just to mention here. Lady Shibby was terrific in winning 2 starts back, beat home the really hot one in Perillosity. A lovely Cameron Lammas ride this day, hugged the rail and then came off the fence.
I don't want to watch
beautifully
because I back Perillosity.
I don't want to start after. Did you back it again?
If I try and back Perillosity again, hit me in the face with a shovel.
Did you back it after this again?
No, I didn't. I'm never going to back it again.
I did.
I didn't know.
Yeah, Lady Shibby is a high-class
well, thanks for telling. You should have told me before the race.
I didn't mind it, and it's gone on to run third. The other one I thought, Brook Bars, hasn't been too far away in decent fields as well. And interesting, when we spoke to Thad Taylor on the first call, he said Prince Mambo had attracted money, 31s into 23. We see that at the top of the book.
$1,000 bet on him at 31. That sounds like an owner bet.
What were you doing?
That sounds like somebody close to the bar.
You pushed the wrong button, didn't you, Michael?
Well, good luck to them.
What would you back in this race?
I'm going to go back Fawn.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to back Fawn today.
Aidan?
It got me worried because I have, this is my first leg of my double leading into race 4 where I'm really keen on Choo Choo, and so I'd put down numbers 4, 7 and 8. So in the first leg, and
I'll chuck in number 9.
Yeah, might have
You've got plenty of money, just add it in. Write another book.
Oh, there we go.
We can make some more money.
Stick the dagger in. CK Treework 1,600 is race number 6 out of Te Rapa, and another handy field lined up here. $30,000 event.
That was a compliment, by the way.
$8.
Those books take way too much.
I could be left $6.20. Francis Drake $7.20, same price as Miratagio. Here's your big open race you've been talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I really like the Kipling girl because I think she's raced in really good races, but some others here too have. Miratagio's coming out of the Cuddle, for example, so gee, this was a tough race, but I thought the Kipling girl, $8 was fair. I marked around $5.50 in saying that I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't run top 3. It's just one of those races where not much would surprise anybody, to be honest.
She's really operated at Te Rapa well in the past. When she was at Matamata last time, she jumped beautifully, but she's drawn barrier 10, Mark Duplessis, taken a hold and gone back. So from barrier 6, she can probably take a posse up in this race. And she was really good winning here. I think it was on one of the premier days, so she's not out of this. Interesting to see the money on Waipipi Lad. It comes in as favourite. The last I run had merit on Premier
Loves
Day.
Te Rapa.
It does like Te Rapa.
Can you find the top?
Tell me, Baby Brand, you like Miratagio here? Is that because of the Cuddle Stakes coming out of a good race?
Definitely.
Oh.
Just willing to forgive on it. It didn't look good, but it was a strong field.
Trolled really well.
We know the
that.
stable gets them ready to rock and roll,
Yep.
and I thought the price was more than enough for me. You like the $1.80 to the $2.50 prices. I like $7 to $12.
Yeah, I'd rather have 2 bets for the weekend on horses paying $2 to $2.50 than have 8 bets on horses paying $7. That's just the way I operate. But I haven't got a good enough attention span to have 7 or 8 bets.
As long as you're getting value, that both ways can work.
I agree.
Yeah, so as long as you're getting value.
Well, value for Michael might be a horse he thinks is going to pay $1.80 that's actually paying $1.90.
Like the Savvy Coke bet. I reckon it's a great bet. What about the last race coming out of Te Rapa? How good
That's
is
the race of the weekend. Has to be.
Well, I think the 3-year-old race at Te Rapa is also pretty special, but I reckon there's 7 or 8 horses here who could race in a Rich Hill type mile race next year, or even a railway, but So how do we say the 6? Is it Miho or My Hall or?
My Hall, by the looks of
That's what
things.
it looks like.
Might be Miha.
Must be pretty good. I mean, it's had 3
It is.
starts on a range of track conditions and it's unbeaten. So
Bella Joy is fresh up.
new stable too for
$10.
Balagoya's changed stables. Stephen Marsh now.
What about Bevan Street? What can you tell us about it?
Bevan Street was really good last time, and that was on Auckland Cup Day. Stephen Marsh actually gave a bit of a rap afterwards when we spoke to him too, so has to be some sort of chance. Me Hall, I think we were going to say, 3 from 3. It had been with Alan Sharrock earlier on, had a few issues, sent up to Moira and Kieran Murdoch on the beach, and this is a very good win. Jet Wings is eye-catching.
How did it not run third, Jet Wings?
Yeah, it's eye-catching, but this is Mihal who's going to take a huge amount of benefit out of this race, and covered ground and running, and yeah, eye-catching Jet Wings, but there's a 2.5 kilogram swing towards Jet Wings, so I don't know. I didn't have much between them.
What about Legramore? It's a horse who's always in the market. It's at backable odds this week, but doesn't seem to win too often. In saying that,
Don't bag her in front of
gets to a
Aiden.
nice place in the weight.
Don't bag her in front of Aiden, Mike.
Barrier 4.
She is
It's
one of
Aiden's
my
love
favourites.
horse.
She is. She's one of my favourites.
This horse would be Aidan Rodley's favourite horse.
Yeah,
That's because they've both got grey hair.
I do love her. Obviously, she's out of one of my favourites, and Katie Lee, who's grey as well.
Sure, exactly. Love the greys.
You youngsters. Oh, yeah, I think you're
I've got
older
a few
than me.
greys in the hair too.
Yeah.
But I colour them on with a pencil when I'm bored at night.
She's been
I
freshened,
don't
but you
do
go
that.
back into what she was doing in summertime, and she was running second to Nicoletta, who's a Group 1 weight for age place getter, second to Eagle Bay, who's been sent to Chris Waller. You forgive that last start run, and she is right in this, and I think she'll be a worthy bet.
Isn't it funny? Sometimes you see ratings 75 and you go, oh, that's a bit average, and you see this one, you go, oh.
Yeah, it's
if you had a nice horse, like say Memories Only, who's a really good horse, you'd end up in this race, you'd be like, oh, well, that's lovely, isn't it? Well, you can go to Matter on Wednesday, there'll be a rating 75 that you could win by 5 lengths. So. I know it's $25,000, and maybe that's the way Saturday racing should be. It's actually a really good Saturday meeting that both of them have got lots of depth to them. You're going to earn your wins.
Shall we have a look at Bevan Street before we go?
You can do what you want, you're in charge.
I'll show you Bevan Street to remind you how good this horse was.
Here's Ellerslie again.
He looks all legs, but he's got a big motor too, doesn't he?
And he's beaten up not a bad little field this day, on a good day, Premier Day, and yeah, just a sign that he's got a little bit. He's packing a few guns here, and he's 2 from 3, 4-year-old that's been given time, raced by Stephen Marsh's parents too, so a bit of a
He's got a
pressure
lot of
on
horses in that grade, hasn't he, Marsh? He's got a lot of horses, nice horses in the rating 65, 75 grade. And, they can all work with each other, obviously. So, look, he could be in for a really strong next month or 6 weeks before the tracks get really bad. And then I think, he's got a whole bunch of horses he's going to need to find other places for. He's already talking about taking 3 or 4 to Queensland. This is the type of horse who I wouldn't be surprised to see on a plane to Queensland.
Yeah, Shock Anto's already gone to Sydney as well, so we'll be heading to Queensland as well. So there's one.
I'll let you boys go home now. Enjoy the weekend of racing. Michael Guerin, Aidan Rodley. Thanks for joining us here on the First Call Plus. Good luck on the punt over the weekend.